Hello and welcome back to Radical Disruption. I'm your host, Maya Nicole, and I'm very excited to kick off a 4-part mini series on selling on Instagram today. When I very first started my business, really struggled with sales, and I had moved from network marketing into starting my business in network marketing. A lot of the things that were taught were cold pitching, and cold pitching meaning that you're reaching out to someone who you might have not ever talked to before to get them to purchase an offer from you. And doing those things in network marketing put a really bad taste in my mouth when it came to the word sales, because I went out and I did those cold pitches and it just felt really icky to me. And I didn't have a lot of people who were purchasing from doing that, which I'm like, oh, I understand why. But at the time, that's all I knew when it came to sales. And so when I started my business, I was like, ooh, sales? Nope. Like it was like stiff arm. I was like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that sales thing. Like I was all about authenticity, and I really wanted it to be where if someone is joining my offer, it's because they really wanted to join my offer and not because I was forcing them to basically join my offer because I followed up with them, 50 times that they got so annoyed with me that they finally wanted to purchase, right? Because that was my experience in network marketing. And you might have a totally different experience if you were in network marketing because each team is different and they teach different things. But that was my experience with sales. And so again, when I started my business, I was like, no, like I'm not doing that sales thing. And I wish that someone had taught me the things that I'm going to teach you in this 4-part mini series, because it is such an authentic way to show up and sell your offer. And sales is so important. If you do not have sales, you do not have a business. You have a very expensive hobby. And you might have heard that said before, but I want you to really think about that. Like without sales, you do not have a business. Sales skills, selling is the most important thing, in my opinion, that you can focus on as a business owner. More important than literally anything else. Because again, if you are not selling, you do not have a business. People are not purchasing your offer. You are not making money. Therefore, you have a very expensive hobby, or you're just going to shut your business down, right? Because you're not making any money. And I know that if you're listening to this, you are serious about your business. You're serious about the impact that you want to make. And one shift, I wasn't planning on sharing this, but one shift for me that really helped when I started to realize, okay, I actually need to start selling more if I want to make money in my business. And if I really want to scale my business, I know, mind blowing. But one thing that really helped me was shifting from selling is very salesy, and it's me like having to convince people to purchase something, to selling is serving, because I know that my offer, when people get inside that offer, they're going to see a transformation and it's going to change their lives, right? And so that shift for me, and I literally had to remind myself of that daily when I very first started to sell more, because I did, again, have that such negative connotation to the word sales of convincing and like that cold pitching and like following up 50 times to the point where you're like, you have anxiety because you know that you're annoying them and that the only reason that they're purchasing is because you have annoyed them so much that they just want nothing to do with you anymore and they want you to stop talking to them, so they're going to purchase something. And so that was the connotation that I had with sales. And so when I started to shift my mindset around, oh, selling is serving, and it was such a simple mindset shift, but it really helped me. And again, I started to realize the importance of sales. And I saw these people who were selling daily, and they talked about the importance of selling your offer daily. And I understood it. I understood the importance of it, but I didn't know how to do it. And I didn't know how to do it in a way that I didn't get burnt out from doing it. And then my audience wasn't burnt out and bored because I was selling in the same exact way every single day. And I also, too, like when I very first started to get into more of a routine when it came to selling, would struggle. Like I would have one week where I would sell every single day, and then I would drop off the face of the earth for a week and I wouldn't sell. And so it was like this up and down journey of selling really hard and then not selling, and then selling really hard and then not selling. And it wasn't necessarily like the way that I was selling, but it was just really hard for me to get into a habit of it. And so I want to talk you and walk you through what exactly I did to get into the habit of selling daily. And this is exactly what I did So I hope that this is helpful for you. Now, the best thing that you can do, truthfully, is map out how you're going to sell each day. So when I very first challenged myself to sell daily, what I would do is I would get out my calendar, and I use Google Calendar. So I'd pull that out and I would look at the week ahead. And generally, I would at least have a few calls and different things scheduled on my calendar. I might not have had every single minute of every single day scheduled out for a week and ahead. Maybe you do, but that's just not personally how I roll. But I at least had a few things that were going on in my calendar, and I would plan out very easy ways for me to sell based on what I was doing that week. Now, let me give you an example of what I mean. Let's just say that I was looking at my calendar, and on Mondays are my CEO days, and that's where I spend a lot of time in the behind the scenes of my business. So going through emails, maybe recording podcast episodes, maybe connecting with my team members, maybe scripting out or outlining different trainings that I have coming up. And maybe on my calendar, I plan to update a training inside of an offer. Okay, I'm going to write down in my calendar that after I update that training, so maybe I have in my calendar that from 10 to 11 a.m., I'm going to be updating that training. Well, in my calendar, I'm going to have it where at 11 to 11:05, I'm going to make a note to either take a picture or do some sort of behind the scenes video and talk about the offer that I just updated and post a link for people to join that offer and get access to the new training that I just added into this offer. And that is such an easy way for you to sell that offer, right? Because it's like, hey, I just went through and I recorded this training and I added it to XYZ offer. And it's really amazing. Once you walk away from this training, you're going to learn how to do XYZ. And again, you're showing a behind the scenes video and you're talking on your stories about this. And you're going to say, hey, if you want to get access to this new training, here's the link to join, right? Now, another example, let's say that I'm looking at Tuesday, and on Tuesday, I see that I have a consultation with a client. So, like a one on one coaching session type thing. I can write down in my calendar after that consult to post a picture of the consult. So again, maybe it's from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. that I have this one-on-one coaching call. From 2 to 2:05, I'm going to have in my calendar post a picture of the consult. So I am going to have the Zoom screen pulled up, and whether I'm with my client or not, I might take a picture of the Zoom screen. I'm going to post that on my Instagram stories, and I'm going to talk about what was covered in that consult, right? And it could be that I say, we talked about how to update a funnel or how to optimize a funnel and how to make passive income from email marketing. I'm going to list out all the things that we talked about. And then from there, I could either just leave it at that and maybe not even post a link, or on maybe the next story after that, I can say, hey, if you're looking for help when it comes to, or support when it comes to email marketing, here's a link for you to book with me, and whatever that consultation looks like. Maybe it's a 1 hour, maybe it's 30 minutes, maybe it's a 1 week type of one-on-one coaching, whatever that is, you can share more details there. And I would do this every single day of the week for when I was looking ahead and I was planning out how I was going to sell. And again, it's so simple, right? You're just looking at your calendar, all the things that you're doing, and you're just going to schedule into your calendar right after you've done that thing. So whether you have updated in a training inside of an offer, or you've done this one-on-one consultation, or maybe you have scheduled in that you're going to check your emails. Okay, maybe one of your emails is a question about one of your offers. You can screenshot that, post that on your Instagram stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're scheduling in how you are going to sell into your calendar, right? And you're looking at the week ahead. So it's not, oh my gosh, on Monday, I need to talk about the features and benefits of XYZ offer. It's no, on Monday, I'm doing this. And this is a really easy lead in to the way that lead into how I can sell this offer on my Instagram story. So it's not you going out of your way to think about how can I talk about this offer? It's how can my schedule, the things that I'm already doing in my day-to-day life, sell my offer for me, right? And that for me was a game changer because it's so authentic. It's so authentic to sell based on what I'm already doing, and just writing it down on my calendar. It was the way of helping me to remember to actually do it, right? Now, this is different than just plopping random ideas down on how you're going to sell each day. This method really makes selling feel like it's a flow versus something, again, that you're going out of your way to do. Because I could, again, post in my calendar, like, oh, on Monday, talk about the features and benefits of this offer. Tuesday, share behind the scenes. Wednesday, I could add that to my calendar, or I can look at my calendar and say, hey, on Monday, maybe I'm going to spend some time in my direct messages, and I know that I'm going to probably get some sort of question as I'm going through my direct messages about XYZ offer. Okay, I know that I can screenshot that, post that on my Instagram stories, and I can say, hey, I was just spending 10 minutes in my direct messages having conversations, and one of the questions that I got was this, and you post that screenshot onto your Instagram stories. And again, it's so authentic, and there's just such a great flow there when you sell in that way. And another way to think of this, selling in this way, is I want you to find the hook in your day and use that to sell. So what is one thing that's happening in your day that you can use to sell your offer? So maybe it's you have a one-on-one coaching call. Maybe it's you are recording a training. Maybe you have a podcast recording. Maybe you are going through your email list. Maybe you like, there's so many different, like, even big and small little things, big and small little things, big and small things that you are doing throughout your day that are like the hook that you can use to then sell people into an offer. Now, you might be thinking, what if I don't have a lot going on? Like maybe you don't every single day have, a one-on-one coaching call, or you're not updating trainings all the time. Like maybe you don't have a lot that's going on. Use your direct messages, use case studies, and then also turn your day-to-day stories into sales stories, which is what I'm going to be talking about in the next episode. So part 2 of the selling series. So stay tuned for that if you want to hear more about how you can turn your day-to-day stories into sales stories. Even the most mundane stories can be turned into a way that you can sell your offer. But again, going back to, if you don't have a lot going on, utilize your direct messages, utilize those conversations, screenshot messages in those conversations. Maybe it's not even necessarily a direct message about your offer. Maybe someone's not saying, hi, what offer should I purchase? Maybe they're asking you a question about some sort of topic that relates to one of your offers. And maybe you answer that question and you say, hey, if you want to dive deeper into this, I actually created this offer. And again, it's such an easy lead in that way. So utilize direct messages, utilize case stories, testimonials. If you're getting questions in your emails, that's another really easy thing that you can do. And the last thing that I'll say too, if you don't have a lot that's going on, what are you embodying that you teach other people? Meaning that, let's just say as a business coach, something that I very much value and believe is taking time for rest, whether that is going on vacation or whether that's even just a 5-minute walk in the middle of your day. Like, just giving your brain like breathing room is so important. So maybe something I could talk about, if I don't have maybe like a one-on-one coaching call or anything else going on in my day, what I could do is when I go on that walk, I'm going to film that, right? I'm going to film me going on that walk, and I'm going to talk about that value that I have, which is, have you gone on your walk today? Or have you given your brain space to breathe? And maybe that's something that I talk about inside one of my offers. And so what I can do there is I can use that as a segue to sell my offer. And I can say, this is why giving your brain room to breathe is really important. And one of the ways that I've given myself room in my business to breathe is by setting up systems. If you need help setting up systems, then join my offer, right? Thinking about that as well. And I know I'm throwing a lot at you here, but I hope that you're picking up what I'm putting down. The biggest thing though, just to recap on this, how you're going to get into the habit of selling daily is you're going to look at your calendar. You're going to see what is going on each day in that week, and you are going to then schedule in ways that you can sell based on what's going on in your day, aka find the hook in your day, use that to sell. If you want more support with selling, I have 30 free selling on story prompts linked in the show notes, along with my 3-part masterclass that is all about utilizing your Instagram stories to increase leads and sales and sell in a way that is not salesy. So if you want more support on that, go check that out. But again, the second part in this series, which is coming next week, I'm going to be talking more about utilizing your day-to-day mundane stories to turn that into sales stories. So stay tuned.